Hey everybody, welcome to Grindcast, the official podcast, grindedword.com. My name is Matt, and as always, I'm joined by
Will
and Jason.
All right, so this will be our E3 spectacular.
This is fucking spectacular. This is gonna be fire.
Yeah.
Thank you, Will. That's all I fucking wanted.
I felt like it was real.
That's something more like you farted.
Yeah,
it didn't
the
do,
magic's gone
that
now.
didn't do exactly what I wanted
Yeah,
it
the
to.
magic's over now. So this is probably going to do. We're probably going to do 2 episodes of this because there was a lot of shit to cover,
Yeah,
and we're just gonna. We'll probably break it up by 2 conferences per each. Plus
Matt's got
some,
like a wall of notes.
Yeah, you can hear them.
Yeah.
So, all right. I figured we will start this off with PlayStation conference.
PlayStation conference.
Since, in my opinion, it was the best conference of the evening.
You know, you say that, and it seems whenever you talk to anybody about E3s, no matter what it is, no matter what they do, if you like that company more, you always say they had the better one. Like my brother Joe felt that Nintendo stole the show with their conference.
I mean, I'm actually not being biased. I felt like Sony's was more like, here's what we have for you. No gimmicks attached. These are the games we're going to give to you. And here's like release dates, or if they're still in like, the
Yeah.
project stage.
I get that.
And that's good. Like,
Sony was very much, hey, here's a bunch of trailers and some information. There you go.
Yeah.
Which is mostly what a lot of people want. Me
what,
personally,
what E3s in the past used to be like.
Yeah.
that's for someone like me. Yeah, that's what I want. I want to know what games that are being made, what time that games I know are being made are going to be available, and I don't need pointless guest stars or anything like that. It's just a waste of fucking time.
Yeah, the thing I did find funny about Sony's thing, and we'll get back to this a little later because it's just like farther down the line. But
Yeah.
when they started the official actual press conference, because they had like a pre-show thing with a bunch of tools talking about games,
There was a lot of
they
that.
had like that live orchestra,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and it was just like they had like the dudes like singing like in chants and like the music's playing and everything, and I'm just like, what the fuck happened to E3? I'm like, they've done some crazy shit in the past, like I was like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, people are in auditoriums? What's this? There's like this fucking red curtain drape hanging down and everything. I'm like, it's like, is Sean Connery gonna show up and like they're gonna reenact Highlander 2 on stage? Like,
Yeah,
what the fuck's going on?
They're trying to reinvigorate the conference because the last couple of years everybody's been like, oh, it's going to die off. You don't need it anymore. Everything's online anyway, and there's really nothing that's not leaked or
The
whatever.
only thing that's like exciting about E3, even in the past few years when it was just like I have this information already, is that you might get to meet somebody famous.
Yeah.
That's the only thing exciting.
You
about
might. So, to start Sony's conference off, they had their pre-press conference where they basically kind of got a lot of the indie games out of the way early.
it. Yeah,
And the 2 people that hosted that I found completely cringeworthy and insufferable. I fast forwarded through most of their talking. Like when I saw a trailer come up, then I was like, okay, play.
Mm-hmm.
No, but the weird thing is some of these games, and you and I will spoke about this earlier, is that a lot of these games kind of they all look the same.
Yeah.
A lot of these indie games, it was like they saw Journey 4 years ago, and they're like, let's just do that.
Yep. Yep.
So there was the first one's like Abzu.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Journey.
I did not see that.
Then there was Bound. That also kind of looks like Journey. Hawken was the first one they showed that was not a Journey-looking game. It actually had rendered graphics to it and everything, but the trailer didn't really explain what the hell it was.
Those are the best kinds of trailers.
Then you had Pyre, which I can't really
Yeah.
tell much about that.
Yeah.
And then there was Eagle Flight, which was the first indie one they had in their conference for the VR, which is also being co-developed, I believe, by Ubisoft.
Yep.
And it was like, feel what it's like to fly like an eagle.
Well, 1 second.
And-
Abzu is actually made from the artist behind Journey.
That makes sense then.
It's
All right,
not
I'll
the
let
same
that one
artist.
slide. The other like 500 that are out there right now, I'm not letting that slide.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Eagle Flight's market is for the VR pretty much, and it's like, feel what it's like to fly like an eagle. And like
Steve
there-
Miller Band.
I'm like, there's certain animals I really don't want to know. Yeah, like Steve. I mean, cool concept. It's not gonna grab me though.
Well-
It would definitely be a pass in my book.
Unless you combine that with some type of thing that allow you to be off the ground, it's not going to feel like you're flying. It's just going to feel like
No, you're gonna have to
watching-
you're gonna have to strap the VR on and put like some fucking oscillating fans all around you, like head height, so it just feels like there's wind in your face.
Well, what we're gonna get on this early
Like,
wave
you want a chair?
of VR stuff is gonna be a lot of stuff that just feels like tech demos. It's kind of like when motion controls first came out, and everything was pretty much a glorified tech demo. I mean, Wii Sports, one of the most popular games of all
Yeah,
time,
it's just literally-
is literally a tech demo.
it's nothing.
And I think we're gonna get a lot of that with this VR stuff,
Sneaky Nintendo.
which is gonna suck for a little while, I think.
It's just
Well,
like the start of any console where you get the shitty games and then they're like, oh, we understand this technology now. This thing's nearly dead. We're
Yeah.
going to give you real games now.
Yeah, well, and the VR thing's been around for at least a year now, because when Oculus was out, they had all the dev kits that were supplied out, and a lot of YouTubers got them too, even though they weren't deving anything. But
Yeah.
the early thing of the Oculus, when I was first seeing videos of that, I was like, if this is what this is going to be, it's going to fail. I'm like, because it's like PS2 graphics, and to me, I can't get into that because it obviously isn't real.
Yeah.
Realistic enough looking.
Yeah.
So, but now they up the quality of graphics, and like you're getting AAA titles basically strapped in front of your face.
Yeah.
So that's cool, but this is going to be such a small niche of games because it's going to be your first-person shooters and rail.
It's going to be
movement
first-person
type
shooters,
things and
puzzle games, and other things where you're mostly just like...
see, a puzzle game still doesn't
Interacting.
even make sense to me. Like,
not?
why strap that in front of your face to interact with it? I don't know.
It's just like
I can't play Tetris.
not
like-
that
Well,
type
they
of puzzle
did that
game.
on the Virtual Boy, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm getting. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the one thing I was getting at.
It's just
so
like-
you're talking about like an actual 3D environmental
Like
puzzle.
the current Resident Evil 7 PT that's out. That is technically a puzzle game.
Spoil. You're
I'm
jumping way ahead of our schedule.
I'm terribly sorry.
No, that's cool.
Because I just figured it since we're talking about VR, because that's going to be a VR game. And their demo right now, which, if you don't know, PT is not Silent Hills, people, it's playable teaser.
Yeah.
And what they're doing, it seems kind of like the Silent Hills by Kojima, except more grounded in the Resident Evil universe, not so much like crazy shit happening.
Yeah.
Like
this one's like you got to find this to open this.
that, yeah,
and,
like the Resident Evil 1 puzzles where get this to open those so you can get further
Yeah.
into the thing. The only thing that was a little bit weird was when you got the VHS and you basically went back in time and
Yeah.
saw what happened before you got
Yeah.
trapped in this house.
But yeah, so there's more VR to come down
Yeah.
the road.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
So the next thing we're going to get into, this was what they started their actual press conference with, which I guess is why they had the orchestra and the guys chanting. Because it opened up and it went straight into a trailer. Little boy fighting the little action figure looking things outside, and then you just hear like, "Boy, get in here!" And he just like walks in. He's like, "Your mother's dagger, it's yours." And then out of the shadows, it's Ryan Reynolds as Kratos. And
Christopher Lee's voice.
yeah, Kratos shows up. He's like, "I'm hungry.
I'm hungry.
Hunt, get us food." And then, like, when I'm not gonna lie, when the character walks out of the shadows and I finally see it's Kratos, I'm like, I knew this was coming. I didn't know when, but this is cool. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, this is really cool. Like, I love God of War. So that whole thing happens, and then it shifts to the gameplay side, and then I was like, what did you do to my God of War game?
That was immediately what I thought too.
It's like the camera just snaps back around him, and it's like behind him. I'm like, what? What are you doing? Why has he got Mjolnir?
yeah.
It was weird to me. I'm like, because to me, God of War, the reason there was a third-person fixed camera was that you could get the scale and the scope of the environments that you were in and the
Not to mention-
shit that you're about to get into.
The just the fact that it had that camera was amazing for games like 3, where it's a gorgeous game, where
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able to like fully enjoy the visuals of it with that over-the-shoulder Gears of War style camera.
Right, and it's like I shown my wife this trailer, and she thinks it's a great idea because she's like, now the camera's right up in the middle of the action, because she's like, sometimes you'd fight certain things and the camera's far away enough that it seems like you're not getting all the details. And I'm
See,
like, there's a point to that though.
I will
Like,
agree with that in the sense that you will now, if it's close like that, you'll get to be able to enjoy the combat more. Like, you'll be able to see the enemies and all the flourishes they put into combat, which,
Right.
honestly, in the earlier games, the first one, they didn't have that much because it was like a simple hack and slash action game where you're
Right.
just like whipping them. You weren't really big moments unless it was a boss fight or you're dismembering certain enemies that required you to do that. In the later games, you can tell they put a lot of work into, like in 3, all the enemy details and
Yeah.
combat. In this one, I expect them to have even more, and you want to be able to see that. But again, I would like to see that, but it should only happen if you choose to allow it. I still want to be able to enjoy the universe I'm in. I want to
right,
be able to
'cause
feel
now
the
you're-
environment.
Now you're seeing less of what's around you and more of just what's directly in front of you.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is going to impede the natural flow that the combat system had of God of War. I feel like, because not the like Gears of War. It's a good example of an over-the-shoulder action game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the way the hell that game handles. I just don't.
Right.
I don't like how many over-the-shoulder games handle. The
That's
only
why
one
you
I
hate
really
5.
liked was Resident Evil
4.
4. I thought did it great. 5, I mean, it worked just the same as 4 did, but it had shitty AI. And that's the other thing I'm worried about. I'm
Sheva.
like, is this little boy going to be following me on all my Kratos adventures?
Which it would be really fucking annoying.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't care if he's got a bow that shoots thunderbolts somehow, but I don't want him. Get out of here. Go find your mom. She's dead.
There's
Whatever.
very few games in which having anybody around you is enjoyable. Like, one of the ones I can think of is BioShock Infinite.
Right.
That's the only one that
That's
did
the
it
one
right.
that nailed it.
Spoiler alert, your daughter is a very good companion in the game.
Yeah, well, and the thing of that is you never had to worry about her dying.
Yeah, that too.
Correct.
She's,
So you
she's
were-
always useful, and you don't have to worry about,
Yeah.
hey, if I don't protect her, she's dead. No, she's gonna handle herself just
She
fine.
was there. She helped you. That was it. You didn't have to be like, oh, here's a med pack. Heal you up. Which
So-
is like, I got into Halo 5's campaign again after staying away from it for a while because it pissed me off. And then like the first moment, the whole like Chief's down. Somebody heal me. I'm like, fuck this game.
And then no one wants to cut the NPCs.
No, they're all just like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the NPCs don't seem to understand that you need to be fucking helped. Whereas in BioShock Infinite, it happens immediately.
Yeah.
She just fucking helps you. And another good example of co-op NPC that's actually useful, even though you don't really get to use it that often because it's meant to be multiplayer, is Dead Space 3.
Yeah.
I can't remember his fucking name, but the other guy out, the soldier that works with Isaac, he's helpful, but again, you don't really get to experience that unless you're playing multiplayer.
Yeah. So, I don't know. There is tons more to come for this game. I'm a big God of War fan. Probably still going to get it regardless of my gripes.
I mean,
But
right up top
until
there, you got that Chaos Blade.
until then, I have my reservations, but we'll see what happens.
Well, I also think that a lot of people are still confused over what we just saw, because it's
Right,
set
it's in Norse mythology.
It's years and years later.
but it's actually a part. It's people are like, oh, it's a reboot.
No, it's still a
it
part of the
actually
universe.
follows after
yeah, they
3.
just called it God of War just
What
because.
I kind of get what they're doing is they might just do this and have him going to other areas in the world and experiencing their mythology
Well-
and becoming the God of War there.
I hope the only thing I'm worried about is that in that trailer, when his boy and him are like looking out at the horizon, he's like, I hope you're ready for a new beginning.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, God, don't. If you're meaning as a new beginning, as you're just gonna use a really, like, not so great play mechanic for this one, and then learn from it and bring it back to what it was, fine. Everybody can experiment.
From what I've read, apparently they rebuilt the game, so the combat's probably going to be
Like
Different-
Silent Hill 5.
different but familiar. which I hate when they do that because it's basically them saying, we wanted to tweak this to try and make it new and fresh for you, but it's like, we don't want that. We played the games because the controls were responsive, they were good, and if you change it, it's going to make us feel like this isn't the same game I wanted. Just give us the same controls, update, obviously new things to it to make it, not stale, but at the same time, I don't want to be like, oh, there's a whole new combo system because of all this blah, blah, blah. It's like, nah, look at Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2. It's literally the same combat system.
Yeah.
It just looks better and it's in a different environment.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so moving on, because we got at least only 30 minutes for each conference to get to in 1 hour. Days Gone. That was the next game in their lineup.
I thought it looked cool.
Looks interesting.
Yeah. I guess it's like you're like a biker in like a post-apocalyptic world with zombies, but it didn't look like The Walking Dead. It didn't look like Dead Island or
What
any...
I heard from, I can't remember who I was talking to about this, it was probably the girl at the GameStop. She said it looked like The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I thought at first.
Very, very much like The Last of Us, which for most people is a good thing, but someone like me, it's like, I get that you want to go for that feel of it, but I don't want it to be that game. I don't want it to be a rip-off. Yeah. That's just lazy fucking work right there.
Yeah, I think what it looked like what they were going for, just based off of what I saw, is your struggles are more with people rather than the zombies. Kind of like The Walking Dead is, where it comes to a point where people are the bigger threat.
Well, yeah,
And,
because people are assholes. And
Yeah.
you can't fucking deal
And
with
it
them
just
all the
looked like
time.
that's the direction they were going with this, which is that's definitely cool with me.
Right.
But yeah,
Well,
I
they
was
did that in
I
The
wasn't-
Last of Us.
right. But this time you're a biker.
So
Norman Reedus in
this
this?
time it's like, almost like Mad Max in Last of Us.
Is Norman Reedus in it? Is he going to be
No.
riding around?
He's
Easter
coming up,
egg?
though.
But he's coming
He's
up.
coming up though. So next on, after that, then we then see the same trailer we saw 3 years ago and several years ago for The Last Guardian. The game looks no different.
That was the first thing I said. I was like, oh, well, we haven't polished anything
It looks
here.
exactly the same. The only thing I noticed differently was that there is an evil version of the bird dog that you're training. But trailer ends, screen goes black, and then we see October 25th, 2016. So it finally got a release date. So even though I'm going to be playing a game that I probably could have played on my PS2 in the latter half of the PS2's life, it's finally coming out. I can't wait. It might not be good. I love Shadow of the Colossus. Ico was to me. It was okay. It wasn't terrible.
Fucking people love that game.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not saying you're a bad person for disliking everybody.
I can
I feel
kind
like
of.
I go, fuck you.
I can see where it might have gotten its cult status from. Just not exactly my cup of tea. The way they did it.
You don't like escorting things.
No.
You hate it.
That's why Shadow of the Colossus was better. It's like, hey, I feel like I'm playing a Zelda game that's all boss fights.
Yeah, kind
Fucking great. So, yeah, that got a release date. Then we saw Horizon Zero Dawn again, because this was like last year, and I think the year before they had this out. I think this got a release date this time, and it just looks like Assassin's Creed mixed with tribes hunting robot dinosaurs.
I
and
looked at
animals.
it and I was like, I think I'm good. I don't feel like I need to be getting involved in that.
You know what? I predict that it's going to sell well. I predict that it might be a really good game. Not for me.
Yeah.
It's just
Well, I didn't have any issue with it. I just looked at it and I was like, that just doesn't grab me at
No.
all. I mean,
so. Then next we have Detroit become human.
become human, yeah.
Is this another?
That also looked interesting, but the trailer didn't really give you much.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure next year we're going to see more on this again. Then the one big release from their press conference, Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
A lot of people are clamoring about this ever since the release. It looks fantastic.
I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah, I'm not even so much worried about the look of the game because I knew it was going to be a good looking game. That's what
Right.
that Capcom does with the Resident Evil series. They try to make it look really good.
Right.
I mean, when 4 came out, that was fucking amazing Leon looked fucking damn near real in the GameCube, and
Yeah, and the funny
GameCube
thing
had shit
was,
graphics.
out of all the consoles that it got ported to, the GameCube one looked the best. Because the PS2 one, like, wall texturings and shit kind of looked crappy.
It depends on the version you got. Because if you recall, and we've talked about this before, there's like 6 versions on like every console.
Sure, I think we spoke about this before, and I know I'm talking about Resident Evil 4, but I liked the Wii one the best because I felt like the gun worked best with the aiming
I
mechanic.
did enjoy the Wii one.
But anyway, this one,
It's going back to the puzzle-solving roots of Resident Evil, which I fucking love.
I want this now. Like, the demo is out right now. What did I say it was? Beginning hours, I think is what it's called.
Biohazard 7, the first hour.
Yeah, the first hour, yeah. That's out right now, so you can download that. Hopefully Capcom doesn't decide all they want to make is pachinko games, and then we release another PT-like game.
I mean, it actually looked like a horror game.
Yeah.
That was the thing I couldn't get over.
I felt like you were like in Leatherface's house trying to get the hell out of there. Like,
that's like I said, like the fact that again, I'm solving puzzles again in Resident Evil, and not just, oh, I gotta pull this, and then I gotta fight like for 20 minutes, then I get to pull this, then I get to fight for 20 minutes. That's what Resident Evil became after 4.
right.
It was like,
and that's the
action.
thing. 4's the only one that did it well. Like,
It was
yeah,
a
I know, like,
nice mix.
yeah. The only thing that did suck with 4 is that you had those moments where like there's a locked door, you're in a hallway, and it's just littered with ammo all over the place, and you're just kind of like, yeah, there's a fucking boss coming.
Yeah.
There's a merchant. There's all these glowy blue things of ammo. Like, okay, yeah. And that takes the suspense out of it. With this one, like, watching the demo, I'm like, every time the guy turns around, I'm like, who the fuck's going to be there?
One of the things I was watching somebody play, I love the fact that it never feels like the house is empty, even though it seems
No, because
like
you hear shit
all
moving
the time. And if you go to it, it's like it's not there.
Yeah.
It's wonderfully creepy and
it messes with you, because one of the videos, it can be different
Every
each
time
time,
you play
too.
it, yeah.
Because there was a video I was watching where, after the guy watched the videotape, he's coming out of the kitchen and turns, and there was like a woman on the staircase for just like a split second, and she just vanishes.
Yeah.
And then he plays it again, and she's not there this time.
It's because
it's
the
like,
way you play it alters it. And I wonder if the whole game would be like that, because that would be
oh my
wonderful.
god, you'd be able to play it how many fucking times? I'd love it. Like, this is the first time I can say I'm excited for a Resident Evil game since 4.
Yeah.
No, I lied. 5, because everybody was on a high with 4.
we were excited
5
for
came
5,
out,
yeah.
and you're like, you just shit on
Well,
me.
what they went with the trailers was a bunch of the blockbuster moments, which is what a lot of game companies do, and it's just like, it's just going to be a more high-octane 4, which was a cool idea, because you're like, I'll still get the creepiness of it, but now it's bright.
Yeah.
Which you didn't get creepiness until, like, 80% through the game, when you're going through those, like, African ruins.
Yeah.
Right.
So then PlayStation then did their VR presentation for their headset. And I'm just going to list these games off. These were some of the ones that they had in the showcase. One called Farpoint, which looked okay for a VR game. It was all right. Star Wars Battlefront VR missions. I knew that was going to happen because the team EA is in the title, so they're not, they have Star Wars, so they're like, fucking put it on the goddamn VR thing. Then there was Batman Arkham VR, which seems interesting. I'm like, you could be Batman, but you're just playing Arkham again.
Yeah.
I think. They didn't really give much. It was just like a camera swirling around the Batsuit and Mark Hamill being like, you're Batman!
Yeah, and I got the
Like,
feeling like I'm just going to put this helmet on and Mark Hamill's just going to laugh in my ear. And I'm like,
I
I'm
would
okay.
like-
I'm
I'd
okay
pay
with that.
$60 for that.
Yeah.
Just put it on. I was like, hey, Batsy! It's like, okay. So
I
then,
feel like I was in the cartoon.
after that, they had Final Fantasy 15. They showcased the game in the VR segment, and at first I was like, why'd you do that? And then after that, they're like, oh, yeah, now you can also get it in VR, so all the characters turn to you, and they're like,
Yeah.
hey, you're really here with us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is just like, if that's a mechanic that's going to show up a lot, I'm like, fuck you.
That's another, like,
Especially a Final Fantasy
I've
game.
mentioned it a lot. I hate when producers of any kind do that, when you're like,
Yeah,
in the
don't
thing.
break that fourth wall. Like,
I mean, sometimes it's okay because they do it in a, so like Kojima. He does it a lot in explaining to Snake, who's you, how to play the game.
Yeah.
But outside of that, he is not like, and Psycho Mantis, but outside of that, he's not just like constantly, hey,
No, that makes
person
sense.
playing the game.
That makes
this and
sense,
that.
though. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like that to me is as bad as a gimmick of back in the early days of 3D, where people would be like, "Oh, let me put this board in the car," and they're just like jamming it towards the camera for the 3D effect. Now, like to me, having like you're fighting a boss and the characters actually take the time to turn around and look at you, be like, "You did a good job, bro." You know, it's just like fuck off with this
Yeah,
shit.
It seems like a
seriously.
dumb gimmick. It really
Yeah.
does.
It's so forced. It's like you would not fucking do that if I wasn't using the VR
Yeah.
headset.
So that was their VR. Sorry, go ahead.
and they gave it a release date for the system. It's October,
yeah,
and the
it's
price point's
like
like $299.
yeah, a lot of things are in
That's
October.
not as
I've
bad as I
noticed.
would have figured.
I still find it. I think it's still too much for something I'm going to jump into right away. Me
Yeah,
personally,
it's just
I-
like when you talk about the whole 4K nonsense from
Unless you-
PS4 and whatnot. I'm not going to buy a goddamn
Yeah.
4K TV so I can play 4.5 PS4.
unless you do like Dank Souls 3 VR. I mean, that'd be fucking.
That'd be horrible.
that'd be scary as shit.
That'd be fucking
I would
horrible.
have to buy pants every day of my life. Be shitting them ridiculously.
But I will agree with you. The price point was lower than I expected.
Yeah. I expected up higher, like 400.
So then, after that, then we get into some of the slightly throwaway things, in my opinion. They showcase Call of Duty Infinite Warfare,
No one cares about fucking
which I was like,
God.
when I first saw like
Multiple thumbs down.
when I first was watching it, I was like, why are you doing this?
Because they want to be Halo so fucking bad.
So like, hey, we're in space now. I got grappling hooks and, you know, the guns shoot ridiculously, and I got like this shield so I can't get hit, and so I'm just like, nobody asked for this. You realize all the people that played your games when you were at your height was when you were doing World War
World
II
War
and Vietnam shooters and shit like that. That was your height.
I don't think Call of Duty, like they did.
Well,
never
they did.
Vietnam. They
I
did,
guess Black Ops kind of dabbled into Vietnam, but
I thought Black Ops was
or that was in Russia.
the fucking Cold War.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know. Well, my point being,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
get what
when
you
they
mean.
were in the World
It's
War II scenarios, that
the
was
only-
when they were at
the
their
only,
height.
No. The only time they were good in the future wasn't even the future. It was right now, which was Modern
Right,
Warfare.
modern.
which
That was
is,
their
right.
best game. Yeah.
World at War and Modern Warfare 2, I believe, are their highest selling games.
Yeah. And speaking of which, they also had showcased the Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered.
Yeah, for if you buy the certain edition of Infinite Warfare, you get
You-
Modern Warfare 1 remastered for the
Yeah.
PS4 along with the game.
Which is something their fans actually have been asking for.
And it's
True, yeah.
funny because a lot of people I've seen, like we talked about this again, people are going to buy that edition and then trade in Infinite
Yep.
Warfare just so they can get the remaster because they're only releasing the remaster with that, which I know for a fact within about, let's say, 3.5 months, you will be able to buy Modern Warfare Remastered by itself without buying the
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're not going to throw that money away.
Oh, no, of course not.
So then,
Be a fool.
another couple things that I thought were throwawayish, Skylanders Imaginators. I haven't played a single fucking Skylanders game.
Neither have I. but
I know
there's a
the
huge
kids go
following.
nuts over it.
But
It
they-
seems like
They did announce that Crash Bandicoot was going to be in Skylanders, though.
that's true.
Yeah,
Let's get in
and
there.
it's going to be, they're re-releasing Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and Warped, which are the best Crash Bandicoots.
Yeah. I'm kind of sad the kart racers 1 through 8,000 didn't make it onto the
Crash
list.
Nitro Kart.
Yeah. Then there was a Star Wars Force Awakens Lego that was announced.
Yep.
I knew
Lego's
that
been
was
crushing it, honestly.
yeah, I know that was coming. Wild Guns Reloaded.
Yeah. Which at first, when I first saw the trailer for it, I'm like, it just looks like it's support of the Super Nintendo game. And then I realized, oh, well, it's HD graphics. I mean, they're still sprites. They're still 2D sprites, but it's HD graphics, 4-player, which we obviously didn't get on the Super Nintendo.
I don't understand how HD translates with pixels though. Like,
It does fine.
Have you played? You've seen Hyper Light Drifter and a lot of the newer games. Those are technically HD pixel games, like Risk of Rain. I showed you that, haven't I?
maybe.
I will show you.
Yeah, you have to show me later. I don't know. I hear HD pixel games and I kind of think of like putting an animated movie on a Blu-ray. Kind of like it's not really going to make it look any better per se, but
But the thing about this that's exciting is for the people that want to play a Wild Guns game and don't want to drop $200+ on a cartridge.
Yeah, there you go. That's kind of what it would look like. Like if you ever see any of the newer.
I'm thinking sprites like Nintendo fucking sprites.
If you've seen any of like the newer like Metal Slug games, that's a good example as well.
So just a higher animation frame rate, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
But with 4-player, which is awesome. It's fun arcade style. Like I could just imagine like doing online like co-op and stuff and couch co-op.
Hate it.
They did announce there is couch co-op, so that's
Which
awesome.
honestly, I am for a good amount of time. I was really worried that couch co-op was going to die, and that's one of my favorite things in the fucking world is to be able to sit down and play a game with people I've known for years, like Crystal Chronicles. That's a really good example. I played fucking dozens and dozens of hours of that game with friends of mine.
I fucking love that game.
I do.
I know.
I fucking love it. It's the only thing that I'm not really concerned about getting a tattoo, but if I was going to get one, it would be the Selkie Tribal Mark.
And for anybody who doesn't know what Wild Guns is, it's a
baby's toy.
It's a arcade game where it was like an arcade style game where you basically like a shooting gallery where you're playing like in the Wild West, but instead of it being like the West, it's like there's like robots and
I'm
stuff
watching
that
the fucking trailer.
you fight. And it was one of the more popular, like, under-the-radar type Super Nintendo games that skyrocketed in price in the past year. And that's why I was really excited to see that they're bringing it back.
That's cool.
Putting new
It's
polish on
kind
it.
of like those railgun shooting playing it like 1922.
Yeah.
What was it?
42.
1942.
You get that screwed up all the time.
Yeah, I do. I fucking do every time. It's like that, except you're in one room and you just shoot stuff that comes on the screen.
It's like a shooting gallery type game, but it's really well done.
Yep. There's a Spider-Man game then, which
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought it came out of nowhere. Like, I was like, what?
No, there was
Sony
nothing.
owned Spider-Man. Why would they not?
There was nothing rumored or leaked about this.
Yeah,
before.
that
It
is
just
a really
showed
cool
up,
thing about
like-
that, in my opinion, because it was just like, finally, a game announced that's in like E3 that no one fucking knew about,
Yeah.
and it looked really interesting. Actually, I don't really care for the suit. I want my normal.
It looked
Spider-Man
okay.
suit.
The thing that I didn't understand, I was like, why didn't you? If you were gonna do an updated one, why didn't you use the Civil War suit? I don't know.
Yeah. And this is by the producers of Ratchet and Clank.
So,
So
could be good. It will work good with the
Naughty
humor.
Dog? Is it Naughty Dog?
No, I don't think so.
I think it's Insomniac.
That's what I was going to say next, but I was thinking
Yeah.
Naughty Dog.
So-
no, Naughty Dog does Jack and Daxter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, what I'm sure Jason and I feel was the creme de la creme of the PlayStation release press conference. A little man comes out named Hideo Kojima. He's like, I'm back. And the fucking crowd just goes nuts.
Well,
Yeah.
No, they've been People have been salivating for
Yeah.
his next game
He's
ever
like-
since he was like, "I'm on Sony's team now."
Yeah, he's like, I brought something for you, and here's my surprise. So then the trailer starts. There's a bunch of dead crabs everywhere.
It's very, very eerie. That's a
Yeah.
good word for it.
Yeah.
In that, like, it's standard Kojima style for a trailer for a game that he's still working on.
Right.
You don't know what the fuck is going on. You just
Nope.
see a bunch of dead sea life. There's a fucking baby, a guy curled up. You find out it's Norman Reedus. He's got like future dog tags on. There's like a umbilical cord going to the baby. He picks the baby up, starts crying. It disappears. More weird shit happens. You see he's got like a cesarean scar. It kinda looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's like humanoid creatures floating in the sky, and then they disappear. And then it's called Death Stranding, which is a weird title.
Death Stranding, yeah. It's
But- And like I told Will in the car, I was like, as soon as that booted up, like I had a Game Grumps flash in my head because like I saw crabs. I was like, oh, you like a crab? Me too. And then we had all these scenarios. It was just like him and Norman Reedus get together like all the time, like they're best buds because he wants him and everything. He's like, Mr. Reedus, you want to eat some crab? Would you like to get buck naked in my house?
The thing with
my motion capture machine.
the thing with Kojima is he joined into video games because it was a good outlet for him. Because he fucking loves movies. If it was up to him, that's what he would do.
Right.
He feels he's better at making games than he would be at making movies, and I guess he's just been really into Norman Reedus. I guess
For some reason.
for Walking Dead or fucking what's the movie?
What, Boondock Saints?
Yeah, Boondock Saints. Whatever
Yeah.
he's like focused on right now. He's like,
Padre.
I really want Norman Reedus as my character right now.
It's just fine. I mean, whatever. It just when I saw it was him, I was like, I'm kind of not surprised.
I wasn't on it. I kind of got the feeling like he's definitely going to use Norman Reedus again the moment he fucking gets his.
And I
game
thought it
off
was
the
funny
ground.
because it was like he shows up and like I had this like moment go through my head where he's like, I'll use you again because I know every inch of your body.
Well, my reaction to this trailer was, okay, this is interesting. Well, that's Norman Reedus. Okay, he's naked. That's all right. I get it.
I was waiting for that dong
And
shot.
then,
Yeah, when he
and then-
stands up, the camera's still low. I'm like, don't do this.
yeah, and I'm just like,
I was like, I know he's gonna have a dong shot.
I'm like, oh, he's got a baby. Oh, the baby turned into oil.
I don't know
What?
if it turned into oil, but it just like disappeared.
And then there was like oil handprints, like looked like
Yeah,
black.
but
like,
there- if you
I'm
notice-
not, I don't want to say tar baby, but
If you notice though, those were there at the beginning of the trailer as well. In the
yeah,
second.
yeah,
And they were his handprints, like
Yeah.
as they were adult handprints.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
then
they may not have been his though. This
don't
is
know.
why I fucking hate Kojima sometimes. It's just like, stop being cryptic, motherfucker.
I was expecting
wanna know.
I was expecting a date to show up too, but like he didn't PT. It was just like a string of numbers. And then everybody's like, I don't, maybe it's his son's birthday. I don't know. But yeah, looks really interesting. I'm chomping at the bit to find out more about it.
Yeah, I'm really wanting to know more.
And fuck you, Kojima, for doing that to me. I love you. With all due respect, go fuck yourself.
He's like, I've already got your money in my pocket.
Yeah.
You know, I just got to release this trailer. I have your
got
fucking
the money.
60 bucks.
What is it gonna do? And the fuck are you, Grindcast? All right, so now we got to move over to the dark side. I just say the dark side because of Microsoft. I hated their conference.
Green's a darker color than blue.
Yeah, it is. I hated their conference for the sole purpose is I felt it was an hour and 45-minute, like, actual used car salesman pitch to
yeah.
get me to buy 3 more fucking consoles. Like, because it opens up right away with the Xbox X1S, which is like ripping off
The X-Bones.
fucking Apple right
X-Bones.
away. Yeah, X-Bones.
I did
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It opens with that right away,
Yep.
which I think is great because, like, what better way than to tell your fans that they haven't spent enough money on your shit than to be like, hey, look, it's only been out for a year or so, and here's the slim version
The
already.
thing is, they've done this multiple times.
no, I know.
360
I
was
still
the
don't
same
like that
fucking
they
thing.
did it.
I think they
will-
waited longer.
Yeah,
I
they
will
did.
say this though, for people that did wait, like myself, sorry Matt, it is a fucking good ass deal.
What's the
'cause
thing,
it's-
though? I did wait. I waited till the Halo one came out because that's what I wanted.
You didn't wait long enough.
I don't fucking care. I don't care if it's slim and has an integrated fucking power system. I
It's
don't.
the only reason I like it is because there's a higher fucking memory. So it's 2 terabytes.
Yeah.
I don't
Which
fucking
is
care when I
fucking
can
amazing.
just buy external shit and hook it up and I'll have like
I don't know.
fucking 5 terabytes. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, go. Let's do it. Do it. Do it. So
Fine,
it
I
can-
will.
so it
I'll
can-
do it tomorrow.
So it can fall on the ground and fucking break.
yeah, I'll throw it out a window.
The way that they were presenting this, they were like, "We listened to you.
No,
You wanted this," and I'm like, "No, I didn't tell you any. You get out of my head."
What I want to
If you
know.
wanted, if you did this for us, do you know what you can do for people? You can take in their old fucking Xbox One and fucking give them either a discount or a fucking Xbox One Slim.
You know what you could do for me? Just make one that works. That's all I want. I want to be able
the
to go on.
Scorpio
And,
will.
Yeah, I want to go on and watch Netflix and not get booted off halfway through watching a movie.
He said, "Fuck you, go outside.
I want to
Don't
use,
play
I
the
wanna
Xbox."
I want to use YouTube and actually bring up my subscriptions that I subscribe to. Because it don't do that anymore. YouTube has just started downgrading. Eventually, you put YouTube on, and your Xbox is just going to explode.
That's going to go back to...
Kicks you back to the main menu.
Yeah.
It's going to go back to the old days of the internet where all you can access is, like, MS Paint.
Yeah. It's just going to be fucking, like, DOS binary.
It's going to ask me to install QuickTime and...
Yeah.
Did you want to install Adobe Acrobat? This is an update.
So there was that, so there's one console down.
Yeah.
Then they showed Gears of War 4, which I don't give a shit about. I stopped caring about Gears of War after 2, because 3 I thought sucked.
I didn't get
and
to
then
play 3, but I wanted to.
Liberation, or whatever the one was, where it
I
was
lost
like...
track after 3.
Yeah. When
There's only been 4 games, hasn't there?
But there was
the one after 3 that looked like it was a fucking GQ ad, because there was like a bright blonde-haired dude that looked like he lived on the beach all day, and...
It was... You played as Baird.
his son or something?
Baird or Dom. I don't fucking remember. All I know is it got terrible
reviews.
I played 1 and 2. I really much enjoyed them. They were a nice change of pace from the constant first-person shooter games that were out every fucking where at the time.
I enjoyed 1 a lot, yeah.
Yeah, and then I just kind
fun. It
of
was
stopped
hard.
caring because they kind of went the Halo route with their...
They sure as fuck
with
did.
their
Yeah.
next games, where it was like 3 came out, and then they did basically Gears of War, like Halo Wars, more or less.
Yeah.
Except not fully RTS, and they just kept coming out with weird fucking things. I was just like, I'm done with Gears of War.
So then...
Sorry, Cliffy B. Loved you.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore.
So they released this game, and then immediately after that trailer ends, you see a controller come flying. And it's in shadows, too. But you know it's that goddamn Elite controller, because it has, like, spoons on the underside or whatever. It starts flipping around, and it's, like, getting scratched up, and then it's red, and they're like, the Gears of War 4 exclusive Elite controller. Now $299. I'm like, whoa, what? Or no, it was
$199.
$199. Which...
Is
I
it
was like,
coming with
wait.
a fucking system?
Yeah, I was like, wait. The 1S is $299. This controller cost me only $100 shy of your brand new fucking console?
The fuck does it do?
That's what I asked.
I think it allows you to just cheat. I think it wins the game for you.
It's a turbo controller. I turn on the turbo switches.
Yeah. I think if you hook it up...
Fucking turbo.
What just happened?
I fucked everything up.
You and your romping stomping.
Oh well.
Oh, shit. Okay.
What were we talking about then?
We were talking about the Gears of War Elite controller.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this thing's like stupid. It's like,
I personally fucking hate when they do this kind of dumb shit. It's like, don't make it a big deal at a conference. Like, just like what they did with the, I think they did this before with another Gears of War controller. It was just like, they just said, hey, we have this available. You can buy it. I'm fine with that, but don't be like, hey, look at this. It's a really fucking expensive controller that you can buy that's super cool. It's like, motherfucker, this isn't what I come to E3 for. I come to E3 to learn about the games that are coming out. I don't care about your
not
fucking
stupid
controller.
peripherals. Yeah, so there's that. If you were clamoring at the bit to get yourself a Gears of War 4 Elite controller, your prayers have been
And
answered.
another thing, fuck you. Don't release a controller. Release a goddamn system.
Yeah.
That is for the goddamn. What? Yeah, I didn't see this.
And then...
Go ahead.
well, I just hope they don't make too many of those, because I get the feeling that they're not going to fly off the shelves.
Probably not.
No.
So then we moved on to the other thing Microsoft decided to ruin, and that was Killer Instinct. It was funny, like, because in the conference, they're like, the guy who came out to announce it, it was some musician, I can't remember. It was a celebrity, basically. And he's like, oh, all you people out there playing Killer Instinct, and like people are like, yeah! I'm like, what?
It's
Wait,
like they got
like it got horrible fucking reviews, and it's basically a platform just for people to spend money. Like,
Yeah.
what they did was they got Kevin Dunn from the WWE to pump in like cheers
Probably, yeah.
into the sound system. It's like, who here was ready for Killer? It's like, yay! And everybody's just kind of like looking around like,
it's coming from the ducts.
where's
What's
that?
in the air conditioning? But yeah, so since it's doing so well, Microsoft's like, well, hey, maybe you'd like to buy another character. So now you're gonna get, is it General?
Yeah.
Ram?
Ram.
We-
Depends on how you want to pronounce it.
Getting Gordon Ramsay.
It's Rom.
It's Ram, I believe. He
The
was
same
the boss in
The Locust boss in one.
Yeah,
And-
that Gears of War.
Literally
first
was
version of
just that typical boss where you're like, oh, he's got a shield, you gotta get rid of the shield, then you can do damage, and then you wait for him to do his thing, get rid of his shield, deal damage. It's a really fucking poor boss
It's
fight.
pretty dumb.
the game. It is just tedious and frustrating.
So then they showcased Forza Horizon 3. Don't care.
Haven't cared about a Forza game ever.
Ever. Yeah. Recore looked kind of dumb.
Like it shouldn't
honestly.
be released this late, like it should have been a launch title for the Xbone.
Yeah. Then they announced the Final Fantasy 15 demo for December 30th. Division,
The Underground or whatever.
Yeah.
The new DLC.
June 28th, that's coming out.
Which I find hilarious that they're
I find it hilarious
already-
too, because I found a fucking article where it was like, the Division's player rate has dropped 95%
Yeah, because the game
since opening day.
isn't. It's mostly people playing it that want to take advantage of bugs and glitches in the game to try and have fun, like
Yeah.
the infinite damage glitch.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Like, honestly. So that's out there. Battlefield 1, October 21st.
Excite.
Which looks amazing.
Yes, it does.
It looks like what
And
Call
it's-
of Duty should be doing.
And it's the legit
Like-
first Battlefield game in which literally everything can be destroyed.
Yeah.
You can drive tanks through buildings and they will be fucking completely destroyed. And the really cool thing I found about 1 is that, which by the way, I just realized that it's such a fucking horrible thing. It's going to be on the Xbox One first, and it's Battlefield 1, and it's just, that makes me really, that makes me upset for no reason.
Cringeworthy, actually.
But, like, in the previous games, if there was a door you could open and close, you had to open and close it. Now you can literally bust through the door like an actual soldier would do.
Yeah.
And that takes away a lot of fucking cover and defensive ideas that a lot of people would have.
Yeah, I saw this and I thought it looked really cool. It might be the first Battlefield game I actually buy.
Yeah,
Like-
I gotta say, I know it's still fairly early on in our discussion, but this was one of the games that really jumped out at me as a must-buy. Because, like you said, I've never actually purchased a Battlefield game in the past. Not really something that I'm really into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not really into the warfare games and stuff like that. I never
Yeah.
have been. But this just looks incredible. It
Yeah.
just looks amazing.
Now here's the problem. You're not going to be buying it on PC, are you?
Well, no.
And that's DICE. They do good jobs on the systems. Don't get me wrong. They can still look good and they can still play real well. But the PC is where DICE wants Battlefield at. It looks the best. It plays the best. It has a lot more server maintenance and whatnot. Like, it's a lot more maintained of a game. Whereas they just finally got, 40 players on, maybe, no, it's probably a little bit more than 40 players. I think it's like 64 actually on the Xbox One and PS4. They just got 60 players on the goddamn consoles. When they've had that for ever on the PC. So you'd have 30 motherfuckers on the other team just running at you, which was...
And speaking of PC and networking, like you were talking about, one of the main themes in Microsoft's conference this year was cross-platforming with PC users.
Yeah.
Play anywhere.
Play Anywhere, that was what I guess they were basically calling it.
Exactly.
Almost every game that showed up in their showcases, you heard the annoying, only on Xbox One and like Windows 10 platforms.
Yeah.
I was just like, I see what you're doing, Microsoft, but it's not gonna get gamers over to you being like, oh well, I can play with my PC friends on my Xbox One. It's like, yeah, you can, technically you can, But when your Xbox One decides it doesn't want to work, and your PC friend's sitting there waiting for you to come back or get back or have your Xbox actually get on the internet better, like that, I hate. I really don't like the direction of this.
Well, I think part of what they were going for here was making it accessible. Like you don't have to be strapped to a console, kind of like how the Wii U did, where you can play it on the gamepad, or the Vita did, where you could play on the Vita. This, if you want to play, you can play on your laptop. Say your wife wants to do something on the Xbox One in the other room, so you want to play your game still. So now you can go to your computer, and it will still be your same save file. Everything will transfer over. But there were a lot of restrictions with this too.
Oh yeah, tons.
The fact that you can't be on both at the same time.
Yeah.
So that, say your wife wants to watch Netflix. It ain't gonna work.
Why?
Because you said you can't be on the both at the same time.
No, you can't be on both be on the game at the same time. You can't have the game open on your Xbox One and open on your Windows 10 at the same time.
Well, that's kind of. Yeah.
But that's why they did it this way. They're
it's like, hey, you ain't playing the same game in the same house.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
So basically, what they're doing is, if say, me and Will were roommates.
Yeah.
I bought a game. It has multiplayer.
Yeah,
They're saying
share it with him.
Will, you have to buy your copy too, so that you two can play together.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yep.
So,
like I said, there were restrictions. Cool idea, but there are restrictions with it.
there was that, and they also boosted that they were going to have because of this, they're going to have a larger Xbox Live network. They then showcased features for it. Their background music you can now do, which you could do on the Xbox 360.
I did it all the time. That's how I played fucking Halo
For
3.
the longest time.
Yep.
Cortana is now going to be your new virtual assistant for the Xbox One, which I have it on Windows 10 and I never fucking use it.
I never
used it.
They are bringing up clubs on Xbox Live where you can go and find players that play games that you play or make some
communities
friends.
like they have in PS4.
Exactly. Looking for group, which is like looking for people that play the game that you're playing, which is like they do on PS4.
And just like they have on Wii U.
Exactly. Wii U, you boot it up and you virtually see hey, this group of people's playing this game. This group of people's playing this game.
Yeah.
They're gonna put Arena in for and I love that when they're in the conference, for the hardcore gamer. Microsoft, do you know what a fucking hardcore gamer is anyway? I don't know why.
It's people that play Gears of War with their.
It's
Gears
where
of War
you
Elite
see.
controller.
It's where you see the penetration, right? I mean,
Yeah.
It's not just simulated.
I hate the thing I hate at these E3 conferences is even when
You
I
always
hear
gotta bring porn up, don't you? It's just like me with Metal Gear.
he does. He's got that Pornhub elite status.
There's Metal Gear porn too.
I'm sure there is.
I was about to say I'm aware.
I don't know. These E3 conferences, I even hate hearing the word gamer passed around. I don't know. It's just it's one of those things. It's you're not in that crowd. You're just the guy who sits in the office and's make me money. I don't fucking. These little bastards will buy anything. Fuck kids know dick.
I used to get really annoyed by terms like hardcore gamers or gamer and like that, but now it's kind of just
it's never going away. So.
It's not going to go away, and it's a lot less annoying to hear. But I still get annoyed when it's any of the corporate people are trying to talk to you like they know how to talk to you. But it's just motherfucker, I'm a regular person. I don't just sit at home and play video games all day. I go to my job, I do it, and I come home, I'll play a few hours of the game, and I'll go to sleep. I'm not going to sit here and be like,
I don't wake up and that's all I got.
I play video games all day.
Yeah, because in their minds, there's two different types of people. There's the gamer guys, the guys that walk around with their headsets on all the time.
Yeah.
Even when they're out pumping gas, they still have their headset on.
Talking to their friends.
Then they have the gamer
They're out there
girls.
Turtle Beach, motherfucker.
Then you have the gamer girls that are tee, I'm a gamer girl. Look at me. And those are the two that they think of.
There's nothing else.
Yeah, that's it. There's nothing in between.
There's no regular people that are just I casually play this game every now and then, or the people like me. I like this game because it's fun, not because it's super cool and everybody's playing it. No, I don't give a fuck if it's cool. I want to have fun with the game.
Yeah. So that was their Xbox Live add-ons that are coming that were already around on everybody else's systems. Then they had the Minecraft team of jokesters and numbnuts come out.
The people that are left in Mojang that didn't leave with Notch.
That are just fucking, I think, are probably going insane.
I hope.
Like
They've been inside the virtual world of Minecraft for so long.
Yeah.
They're a part of it now.
The female presenter, I was like, I think she's only like one more like bounced paycheck away from just murdering everyone.
I fucking literally felt like turning my TV off when I heard her go, "What do you think about that? An achievement on Xbox Live in Minecraft on the stage at E3." I was just like, "Oh, please fucking kill me right now."
Yeah, and so they were there to push Minecraft Realms, which is the new idea they had, so you could play it on iPad, Microsoft 10, Xbox One. Is all the platforms now. You can just jump into any of your friends' game.
One thing, because I don't dislike Minecraft, I just haven't played it in like forever. That I really fucking like that they're doing with that is actual servers of the games. So it's not like,
Yeah.
I want to play, but I can't because the game that I want to play in is on your console, Matt.
Yeah.
And I can't play it unless you're online in that world.
No, I get
Right,
that.
right.
It's a step toward, something that's going to change gaming. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people are going to start probably doing this. It's cool. What I don't think's cool about this was then the two of them are playing, and then all of a sudden you see this douchebag show up. He's like, I'm playing it in VR. And it's just like,
call him a douchebag. He probably is like real sad right now. He's rewatching that. It's like, man.
I'd be calling myself a douchebag if I was the guy that showed up with that fucking goddamn phone strapped to my face. Because that's what it was. I think he had one of those fucking Chromecasts or whatever strapped to his goddamn face. Not Chromecast. I don't know, whatever. It was the
He
fucking...
really fucking
it was the
bothered me.
VR peripheral that, for a phone. And it was just like... He's like, oh my god, this feels so real. I'm like, it's fucking Minecraft. It's not real. It will never look real. It'll never be real. You see a fucking Enderman floating around, and you're like, oh my god, I'm scared!
Like, one of the things that really annoyed me with him was that it felt
Man.
like he was way too comfortable being that uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, just watching him, I just felt like I shouldn't be fucking watching.
Get out there and
this.
sell it, Jerry. All those fucking kids will want it. So, yeah, there was that. Then after that, Xbox shows up and is like, hey, remember that other controller we showing you? Now we got more shit for you to buy. Now you can design your own shitty controller.
Which people have been doing for fucking years.
And
through
put your
third
name on
parties.
it now. So when you look at it later down the road, when your tastes change, you'll be like, what the fuck was I thinking? But your name's on it, so you're only one to blame.
You know what this means? That years from now, I'll be at yard sales buying Mike and Kent's controllers, and
I was thinking about making the Grindcast controller.
Ship it out to all the listeners.
I'm just gonna get it all black. Grindcast in black. Written on it.
black on black.
Black on black, like a storm of justice.
Flat black too.
Yeah.
There's no sheen to it. When you lay it down in black, you lost it. It's gone.
I kind of want to be like, I kind of want to call him up too. It's like, yeah, I see you got that regular D-pad on there. I'd like to put that parabolic dish that you got on there from the fucking Elite controller. Can I do that? Can I strap some spoons in the back of it too, so I can just fucking use all my goddamn fingers for pushing buttons?
You're just so salty.
Oh, we're not done yet. So that was the design lab. Then they hopped into their indie showcase, which there was a shit ton of games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only two of which I really care about. Will, of course, all about Cuphead.
Hold on, yeah. I was watching that part. I swear to God, like they're like, oh, we're gonna be talking about indie games, and immediately some guy in the crowd was just like, Cuphead! Really fucking around. I was
Like, Will there?
Is that Will?
You got fucking tickets
he
to
is
take us?
super fucking passionate about Cuphead.
It's like, Will got press passes to
Then they
bring
get into like
Grindcast?
showing that quick stream of like the games that are indie.
everything that was
and
there.
then Cuphead
yeah.
came on, and the guy just screams, ah! And the guy mentions Cuphead, And the guy again is just going nuts. I'm just like, that's gotta be Will, man. He got to E3, didn't mention it to us.
Well, I can't lie. There were 4 games in this whole gamut of stuff that I think I care about. The 4 are Cuphead, Outlast 2, Bloodstained, and Yooka-Laylee. Those are the 4 that, to me, I'm like, okay, I want to see this, because Yooka-Laylee is from the people that did Banjo-Kazooie.
Mm-hmm.
So, awesome. Mm-hmm. So, the rest of them, Deliver Us the Moon, Flint Hook, Far, Slime Rancher, which has been out for a while now, and
They made so many of this Slime Rancher
looks
games.
fucking dumb. Shadow Tactics, Figment, Everspace, The Culling, For the King.
I will say, I am a little interested in We Happy Few, because I just like that narrative.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me.
Yeah.
But like a lot of people have said, and I've seen it in a lot of places, it looks and probably will feel like Bioshock meets Dishonored.
Yeah.
I think the thing that excited me most about the developments lately in Cuphead is the fact that there was talks of them going towards like a boss rush type game where it's basically all bosses. Now there's platforming stages. Not only are there platforming stages, but there's also side-scrolling shooter stages.
So it's turning into Black Knight Sword.
Kind of.
Not Black Knight Sword,
I know.
Shadows of the Damned?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. But like it's like so like they've created so many intricate bosses for this, and they've redone the music, and they've redrawn things. There's also now a store there where you can buy things to upgrade your characters, and they're really fleshing it out more. I just want a damn release date. I keep saying 2016. I get that. I'm expecting November. I'm guessing November
Probably
at this
late
point.
fourth quarter.
So maybe I'll get it for my birthday.
Hopefully.
But then of course Bloodstained.
Yeah, Bloodstained. Already,
I'm so fucking hyped.
we all
about
bought into that
Bloodstained.
Kickstarter, so that, yeah.
Some of us more than others.
Some
Matt,
more than others.
Yeah.
Matt got punished because he's just so angry.
Yeah, I got punished because they somehow lost my email. So, and like you said, We Happy Few, that looks really good. Then after the indie stuff, they went into Deb from Witcher came out. They're like, we've noticed that a lot of people just stay in the bars in Witcher and they play Gwent. So we're gonna make the card game.
I
for
love
it."
when that happens. Everyone in the audience is just like freaking out. I'm like, why? Because he
Well,
mentioned the demographic that you might be in. I don't like freak out when everyone's like,
Yeah.
oh, black people like this. I don't give a fuck.
So it was. Can I watch the presentation of how the card game works? And I'm like, I don't. It's fun. I don't get it. It seems boring to me. And I like games. I like card games, and this one.
Right, it's just one of those things where you just have to play it. It's just like, I played Final Fantasy VIII. I like Final Fantasy VIII. I really fucking like Triple Triad.
Yeah.
I'd play the
Oh
fucking
yeah, Triple Triad was a
In
fucking
fact,
fun ass game.
There was years back when I was playing that, some fans made a website where you can just play Triple Triad online with people with
Yeah.
the cards in the game, and I played the fuck out of
The
that
fucking
too.
music was terrible though when you're playing Triple Triad. That was all it
Yeah.
was. Okay, so then moving on from Gwent, a dude comes out in a kimono and sunglasses, so we all know what's coming up. Tekken 7.
I love how he was so unapologetic. He's always so unapologetic about how he looks. He just comes out it's like, yeah, we got fucking Tekken.
Yeah, he says it's like, and now Tekken 7. And then it's just like, Akuma shows up, and he's just
Yeah,
like, I'm here
yeah.
to kick your ass. And then they get in a fight. It looks awesome.
It
Like,
does. It
at
looks
first-
really good.
At first, because they didn't announce that it was Tekken 7, I thought, are they doing another crossover?
Because they did do a Street Fighter versus Tekken before.
Yeah, but
And that's
it-
what I thought it
but
was.
it was,
Tekken, yeah.
but it was a Street Fighter style fighting game.
Yeah, it
which
was
is
more Street
really
Fighter. Yeah.
weird in my opinion because Tekken
Tekken-
characters don't work well
No.
in Street Fighter world.
Not a Street Fighter.
But this is a Street Fighter. It's just Tekken 7, and I think they're just adding like Akuma and maybe some other characters as like guests, kind of like in Soul Calibur 2. You
Yeah.
had Lynx, Heihachi, and Spawn.
And then they also said, to celebrate it, you can get free
Tekken Tag
Tekken
Tournament
Tag
2.
Tournament 2 if you have gold on Xbox right now for this week.
But this week, I mean last week.
What? Oh yeah, I guess it was. So never mind, you can't get it anymore. So Tekken's, that was all done, and then they moved on to they showcased Dead Rising 4, which
Honestly, I was a little interested in that because they're going back to Frank West and not that
they
random
can't
Asian.
keep banking on it just being
Yeah.
Frank West being the thing that saves that fucking.
I don't.
It's like,
I was a little interested in it being Frank, but it's just, it looks like a really fun time with all the crazy shit you can do. Like the fucking Triceratops that can breathe fire, or the, fucking candy cane crossbow.
you know what? They want to make it more appealing to me. Stop making it that I have to save other people. Make it that I'm just surviving and there isn't a fucking time limit associated.
That's what happened with the later games.
Okay. Well, I didn't
One-
even play 3 because Dead Rising 2 pissed me off so much.
1 was really annoying with that. There certainly was like the demon souls of that, in which here's a really nice basis.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not make it terrible. And then in 3 and stuff, they changed it so you're just, this is the world now. It's fucking zombies everywhere, and you're just building crazy shit and killing things.
Okay, well, I might like it then. I know 2 I couldn't stand because it was like, oh, you need to get your daughter the Zombrex medicine
yeah.
every 20 minutes. There's this constant timer going. I'm like, where the fuck's Zombrex at? It's like, oh, look for it. And you're like walking around.
Where's the Zombrex at?
You're like walking around, like going in stores. It's like, oh, it's not in here. I'm like, well, my daughter's gonna fucking die. I don't know where it is. I'm a motorcycle dude. I
I
don't
want
fucking know
that on
this
a
shit.
T-shirt. Where the fuck's his Sombrex
Where
at?
the fuck's Zombrex? So then,
Go to Teespring. You can have it made.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
after that, they showed Scalebound,
One.
which looked
I
okay.
didn't see
It kind of looked. I was like, it looks like you just took Final Fantasy 13 and then just made it more like. It looks like you took Final Fantasy 13 and Blue Dragon and smashed that together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which Blue Dragon was a good game. After that, then Rare shows up and they're like, "Hi, remember we do still make games. We're gonna do Sea of Thieves." So we took basically the pirate portions of Assassin's Creed and just made the whole game that, but multiplayer.
So,
Win.
Oh, ship combat.
so it's warships.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, so basically you saw what Assassin's Creed did, and then you saw the, what was that one where it's like the floating ship, it was the combat game where it was like floating ships that you shoot at each other. It was like, a lot of the YouTubers and stuff were playing it. I can't for the life of me remember what it was called now. It was a multiplayer game. It
I
was
kind of think you're thinking of World of Warships,
yes.
because it's the same people that made World of War
Or am I
Tanks.
thinking of Guns of Icarus?
It might be Guns of Icarus, but World of Warships is like a modern
No, this isn't modern.
multiplayer online like warship shooting game in which
No,
you drive like battleships and try to fucking sink other
I
battleships.
think I'm thinking of Guns of Icarus. This was like boats that could fly in the sky.
This was more like.
This is what it looked like
this.
first, like this.
Stop. Bro.
So, yeah, they showcased that. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yep, Guns of Icarus.
They shown that. After that, there was a trailer for State of Decay 2. I didn't know State of Decay 1 was that great of a game.
I didn't.
Oh, God.
Nah.
I didn't think that
Not really.
lasted long enough to even people thought about it.
I downloaded the demo of State of Decay, and I was like, wow, there's bugs all over this fucking thing. So then very dramatic music comes on, and you see some Covenant, and you see some Spartans, and you're like, okay, what are you ruining this time, 343? So there was like Halo Wars 2, and like, I love every time a 343 rep shows up and they come in, they're like, we've learned what you want in a Halo game. It's like, no, you didn't learn shit.
It never fucking learned.
You don't get it.
You don't get it. Give it back to Bungie. Microsoft just be like, look, we're sorry, just take it. Just fucking take it.
They can't even do that because Bungie was just like,
Yeah, Bungie's sitting in
you
their
can have
office
this
like,
now.
yeah, we've got this thing called Destiny. Don't know if you heard it or not, but yeah, we don't know what to do with all this money. And most of it came from Matt Wilson. He's not very happy about it, but
what the fuck is he gonna do?
what's he gonna
have
do?
this
We
money.
already
We already got his money.
So there was Halo Wars 2. Not many people really applauding that.
I fucking love when that happens.
Yeah.
When they're like, you can tell they're like, oh, I know they're gonna be happy about this. Halo Wars 2.
It's like golf claps by the dozen. So then that you think is going to end, and then here comes out a Microsoft executive. It's like, we are going to showcase you the future of gaming. And when he said that, my first thought was like, oh my god, are you seriously making a fucking new Xbox already?
Yeah, the Scorpio, bro.
So he was like, we're going to show you Project Scorpio. And by show you Project Scorpio, we're just going to show you a bunch of technical jargon you're not going to understand, and then show you a console in the shadow with the little Xbox logo shining, and that's it. That's what. And it's just like, oh my god, it's got 8 million teraflops.
Yeah, I was gonna say
And all-
teraflops. That word was thrown around quite a bit.
I'm like, is this the new bit wars? We're gonna get into the flop wars now? Is that
Flop wars.
is that what's gonna happen? Now Sony's gonna be like, oh, we got more flops than flips. You know, it's like, Jesus Christ. So yeah, so Microsoft in thing showed you 2 controllers you can buy, and 2 systems you can buy, and that ended Microsoft's conference. So fucking, I thought it was the worst one there. And that's saying a lot considering
Cuphead!
Yeah, that's saying a lot though, considering they had more stuff that they showcased than PlayStation did, but it was done poorly. And Nintendo didn't even show up with much, and I enjoyed their conference more than Microsoft's. So I don't know. So we got a little bit of time. We'll get one request topic in here. We'll probably get more of these in the next one because there's a little less to cover. But, yeah, here, we'll do this one. This comes from Devin Moore. Which press conference were you most disappointed by? Any additional thoughts on Battlefield 1 after seeing some gameplay?
Back to the beginning of the Microsoft one was disappointing, but I will say the Bethesda one was also a little disappointing to me because I was just like, you didn't do anything. You said that you have Dishonored 2. I am excited about that. I will not lie.
Yep.
But I knew you were going to bring back Skyrim.
Next episode.
I fucking knew you were going to bring back Skyrim. There was no way you weren't.
Foreshadowing.
Fucking Doom and Fallout 4 in VR? Don't care.
Okay, well, we don't have to talk about Bethesda next time around.
Just did it.
Did it, done.
Sorry.
No, I get what you're saying,
It's
though.
just, it disappointed me. I expected so much
Bethesda
more
showed
from
up and
Bethesda.
basically told you everything you already thought they were going to tell
Yeah,
you.
and you know what else they
Essentially.
did that I knew they were going to do? They gave you what you needed to delay you from worrying about Elder Scrolls 6.
Exactly.
They were like, we're not done yet, so here's Skyrim.
Which is, it's out there, and I believe it's going to be called Valenwood. So there you go. That's...
I don't think they're going to go to Valorant. They might go to Cyrodiil. Not Cyrodiil.
The reason I say that is because there was a couple leaked photos out of a sheet that went out to a lot of Bethesda workers and everything, and it had a docket on there of the things that are going to be in project phase or in announcement phase soon. And one of the things on there was the announcement of Nuka World DLC for Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Right under that was Elder Scrolls Valenwood.
But that might just be free, so.
Maybe.
Well,
But I'm just saying, like, I saw that and
yeah.
I'm like, okay, maybe. I don't know.
As far as me, my least favorite, or the one I was most disappointed in, we'll actually cover in the next episode. But that was EA. Besides Battlefield, everything besides Battlefield
Good
was
segue, too.
bollocks.
as far as Battlefield's coverage went, it was pretty fucking exciting to me. I mean, I'm a little disappointed because I expected them. I mean, I wanted them to show more of the game besides just that one map. But it's just so fucking. It's amazing what they're doing with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find difficult to describe how, I'm just in awe.
Just
Yeah.
the little things about, because I've been playing Battlefield for a while, the little things they added, like being able to pull yourself up over walls. My God, that is such an amazing thing. They did it in like a few Call of Duties, but then they decided, no, we're going to have jetpacks so you don't have to worry about having to actually physically move your character up a wall.
Yeah. And like I said, I thought Microsoft's was the weakest just because it felt like there was more filler in there than any substance. They didn't really focus much on the games that they were
A lot of
giving you,
bread.
more about the consoles that they were trying to shove in your face and the shit they're adding to Xbox Live, which in all honesty, when they give you an update, it could just list that and you'd be like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I don't need this at a fucking E3
Yeah.
conference. And they spent like a good goddamn 15 minutes talking about that Xbox Live shit anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
So, okay. I think that'll end this one.
Yeah. So
We're not going to
So-
talk about the Battlefield part?
PlayStation, Microsoft.
Well, I think we kind of did. I mean,
we did it
Yeah, we
earlier.
already did. It looks
But-
fucking great. All three of us are probably going to buy it, and
yeah.
I said at first I
definitely
probably
gonna
wasn't
fucking buy
going
it.
to.
and
It's-
you know, if they've sold me, and I'm not an early adopter, so
Yeah, exactly. So that's good. That's good
I'm
stuff.
very excited about that, especially the fact that I don't have to worry about all these ridiculous, pointless new guns when it doesn't really need to be in the game. They're still going to have a good amount, I'm sure, because it's Battlefield, but
Right.
they go back to pretty interesting period pieces for the weaponry in that game. And there's one scene I saw where a guy, like, a biplane was coming by, and a guy just threw a fucking, like, German grenade at the fucking biplane. I'm just like,
yeah.
that's a player right there.
Yeah. All right, well, that will end our coverage on PlayStation and Microsoft. Thank you, Devin, for your request topic. As always, everywhere to find us will be down in the annotations below from this video post. And as always, thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next episode.
For more E3.
Yay!